Shalom. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world may calls God. Yahweh, meaning he exists. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world everybody calls Jesus Christ. Yahushai, meaning he is salvation. Bahashem, in the name. Rakaha Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great Muslim to teach one and rule who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives to the four corners of the earth. To the Akwathim, listen, learn in sincerity and truth and in silence. Shalom. Akyam, meaning brothers. Akwathim, meaning sisters. Shalom, meaning peace be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto. Here with another lesson. Majority of Americans can no longer afford an average house. Majority of Americans, you Babylonians, can no longer afford an average house, right? The Lord is dismantling the pomp, the pride of Babylon, America the Great. And she's no longer viewed as the benchmark. Once upon a time, everybody wanted to come to America, right? You made it to America from a third world country. You know, you consider yourself hitting the lotto. You know, you're in the land of milk and honey, right? America's always been the place to make money, get rich, and live deliciously. Matter of fact, let's get that. Hold that on deck. Live deliciously. Right? That's no longer the case. Revelation 18, verse 7. But let's get this one first. Jeremiah 51, verse 7, it reads, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai's hand. Right, golden cup. America's always been that, bright lights, big city. I gotta go to America. Third world countries for many years have thought of America as the land of milk and honey, right? But the Lord set it up that way. The Lord set up America. Scripture says she shall no longer be called tender and delicate, roughly paraphrasing, right? That's in Isaiah 41. We'll get that, Lord willing, right? That made all the earth drunken, right? Drunken with what? Her philosophies, right? The whole world is drunk with Babylon the Great, America the Great's philosophies. The nations have drunken over wine, all nations. You can go anywhere in the world and you see them pushing the alphabet boy lifestyle. That's part of our wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, right? And America is being visited. Let's read some of this article. Majority of Americans can no longer afford an average house. And this is from Zero Hedge, August 30th, 2024. The hopeful year that Jacob's trouble comes to pass. It says here, housing affordability in the United States has taken a sharp turn for the worse in recent years, as house prices surged to historical highs during and after the emic, and mortgage rates have risen steeply over the past 3 years as the Fed tried to rein in inflation. Right? Scripture says a measure of wheat for a penny. Right? That's talking about inflation. Right? It's going to get worse. And it's all by design. The elites want the NWO. The elites want the CHIP, the grain of rice. And how are they going to do that? They got to crash this thing. It says here, it all began with a surge in demand for houses during the 19 emic, when many Americans flushed with cash from government stimulus checks reevaluated their living situation and sought more space amid stay-at-home orders and the sudden possibility of remote work. Further fueling demand were the historically low mortgage rates after the Fed had slashed interest rates to near zero at the onset of the emic. At the same time, supply of new and existing homes was very constrained as construction was disrupted by the ID restrictions, and would-be sellers refrained from putting their house on the market during the uncertain time. This imbalance caused a rapid increase in home prices across the country, pushing many potential buyers out of the market, a trend that was exacerbated when the Fed started to tighten its policy stance in March 2022 in its efforts to cool inflation. As Statista's Felix Richter shows in the chart below, according to data compiled by the National Association of Realtors, buying an average home is now out of reach for the majority of Americans, as the annual household income needed to afford a medium-priced home without too much financial strain has shot up 60% since January 2022. Right? Listen, man. She's no longer bright lights, big city. Right? Majority of Americans can no longer afford an average house. It says here, back then the minimum income to buy a mid-range house around $380,000 at the time was $74,000, roughly in line with the national median income. Since then, a massive affordability gap has opened up as required income of $120,000 stands opposite a median income of around $84,000, more than 40% shy of what would be needed. Right, listen, man. Babylon's in dire straits. Right? Scripture says, if so, she would be healed. Right? If so be, she would be healed. Let's get that. Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. Right? The balm is the bailouts, the stimulus. Right? If so be, she may be healed. Right? But she's not going to be healed. It's a continue. This is going to be a continued trajectory downward for America the Great, Babylon the Great. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, right? Them stimuluses, the bailouts, it's not going to heal her, man. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country, right? And a lot of people are packing up and leaving. A lot of immigrants. Yeah, there's an influx of immigrants coming in, migrants, right? But a lot of people that have been in Babylon making money, they see that the cash cow is done. They're leaving. For her judgment reaches onto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right? Ultimately, the Lord's going to unleash the judgment that is about to come down on America the Great. Revelation 18, verse 7 in the NLT. She glorified herself and lived in luxury, right? And for many years, the citizens of America the Great, Babylon the Great, the middle class, the rich, The upper middle class, they've lived in luxury. So match it now with torment and sorrow. She boasted in her heart, her mind, I am queen on my throne. I am no helpless widow, and I have no reason to mourn, right? She's been proud. The citizens have been proud, right? Babylonians have been proud, right? They're upper middle class, they're rich, they've been proud, right? They've been getting it. They've been living good. They've had no reason to mourn. 8th verse. And it reads, NLT, therefore these plagues will overtake her in a single day. Death and mourning and famine. She will be completely consumed by fire, the missiles. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who judges her, is mighty. Right? So the ultimate judgment for this place, America the Great, Babylon the Great, is thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right? Which is going to melt America. Coast to coast. Lake of fire. The only way out of this thing is the ships. The chariots with the world it may cause UFOs. Right? And the only ones that will be delivered will be the elect. Lord willing, we're of that number. If you're not of the elect and you are on American soil, you'll be consumed in the lake of fire. The missiles. That's if you make it that far. Because leading up into the missiles, leading up into World War III, will be the MOTB, the time of Jacob's trouble. A lot of death is going to take place. Famines, more pestilence, right? Some pestilence are in the pipeline right now. Some famines are in the pipeline right now. You know, FEMA camps, Gurga troops, chipping stations, right? All those things are going to take place before the missiles fly. Right, and if you're around for when the missiles fly, unless you're of the elect, you will be burned in the fire. Right, I quoted the scripture. Let's close with it. It was in Isaiah 41. Isaiah 47. Bear with me. Isaiah 47:7, it reads, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Right? And that's been the mind state. That's what's been in their mind. They shall be a lady forever. Right? Psalms 49:11, real quick. And it reads, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? They think the getting's going to be good forever. They think they're going to be a lady forever, right? They think their houses shall continue forever. They think that they're going to pass on their wealth to generation to generation to generation. They've named lands after their names. They've colonized and named places after themselves, right? But the Lord have them in the trick bag, the Mosai Yabashim Yoshai. Isaiah 47:7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, to thy mind. Neither didst remember the latter end of it, right? They've thought that they're going to be getting it, the getting it at the pinnacle, at the top, being the upper crust forever, right? not regarding the latter end, not regarding that they will be consumed in smoke. 8th verse, NLT. Listen to this, you pleasure-loving kingdom, right? America is a place of pleasure, man. Degeneracy. Consume your lusts. Wicked lusts. Living at ease and feeling secure, right? Been forever secure and forever at ease. You say, I am the only one, and there is no other. I will never be a widow or lose my children, right? And that's once again your pride, man. Right? And we see this place being dismantled, and who's dismantling? Yahweh Bashim Yahshai is putting the spirit on these ruling class elites to bring chaos. Right? Babylonians have been proud for years, man. You know, not being able to buy things, not being able to live luxuriously. You know, they're not accustomed to that, man. They're rich, they're middle class, they're upper middle class. They're not accustomed to this, man. Not being able to buy whatever they want, use their money, right? The value of the dollar is no longer, right? The dollar is worthless, right? And the illusion has been spilled over America the Great, Babylon the Great. People still think they're in a good case, right? They're distracted with bread and circus. They're distracted with social media, and they don't realize their dollar is their currency is of no value. Right? So with that, I pray edified. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone to teach you on rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.